This week on Let's Be Real, of course, is December. It is a time to party, celebrate. Simon, you're wearing red.
Hey, we are ready. We are ready.
And buy gifts.
And people, responsibly.
Responsibly.
My friend, people are partying out here already.
Yes, already. We've already started.
But where is the money?
Oh,
Economy is bad in January.
we find the money. We don't care.
Anyway, in this show, it's Christmas. It's a season for cheer. We'll cheer you up, of course.
Yes.
And we'll discuss pertinent issues. I'm your host, your Charles Oteno, alongside ladies really dressed well tonight.
Today I'm quite monastic, like in the monastery, right? I look like a nun in the monastery. But remember, for a good reason, you know the best wines and the best beer. Actually, the sparkling wine was discovered by a bishop. Yeah, Dom Perignon. He was in a monastery, and when he discovered the bubbles and everything. So today, in honor of Dom Perignon.
Dom Perignon.
Yeah, but Samantha wines.
Water. You can do water.
Yeah, we can do water. Yeah, I can turn it. Yeah. So my mission is to make you happy this Christmas season. Cheers.
Cheers.
Samantha wines. We have an offer running.
Ooh.
Yes. You mentioned the economy.
Exactly.
The economy is bad, man.
Yes.
The economy is bad in January, not now. Hi guys, and I am Maria. I am the author of Marriage is a Scam, and I'm the one here to tell you that there are two phrases you should avoid this December. Tumia pesa ikuzoe and rudishia mwili shukrani. Avoid. January is coming.
Tumia pesa ikizoe. And every money is not for building, by the way.
Exactly.
Mwenye nataka kutumia pesa, Dr. C anataka diamonds and I want land.
They almost,
Simon.
my car is almost here. You had CEO last week saying this.
Oh,
It's a closet.
Hey, boss, man out there. Hey, my name is Simon Says, and where? If you don't have money, boss, stay at home and watch your movies. But there is.
Remind them, not every money is for buying cement.
Yes.
Imagine, what is with men and cement?
Some money is for
This December people
this
have
Christmas.
phrases to reduce money.
Wait.
People are getting many phrases that are not even in January. Then they're saying the economy
No,
is
but
bad.
this month, this December, we must eat some money.
We must.
Tumia pesa ikuzoe.
We've had a rough year. We've had a rough
We
year.
are not going to buy cement throughout our lives.
Yes, we've had a rough year, and it's about time we actually let loose and celebrate and go away. So cheers to that.
Cheers, everyone.
December is finally here. Guys, the year is over, and you've not even done anything on New Year's resolutions. Oh no, way.
Hata hujaanza. Let people enjoy.
Before you stop doing fake New Year's resolutions. You write them in January, in March we are not even started. In August, you are saying this will not be a
speak for
year.
yourself.
But people who write them down, more likely to achieve.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Yeah,
Let's start.
let's go.
Okay, this week, there's one story which was in the dailies, which was very heart-wrenching.
Mm-hmm.
One, a man had been imprisoned for 17 years and on allegations of rape, but apparently the guy had been framed. The daddy of the daughter framed the father, and the dad was in for 17 years. My question is, why would a young girl frame the father that the father raped him and the father goes in for 17 years and come out this time now?
Actually, I have an answer to that. You know the story added on?
Yeah.
It was actually this. More information is this. The daughter was told by the dad's brother to lie that indeed that now that the father had raped him, so that because the father had refused to sell a piece of land.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? And it's all because of a piece of land. So then he went into jail for 17
years.
Because of this. And that even goes further to say this. This is now my issue with this story.
Yes.
It is my issue a lot even with many cases that may even happen this December.
Yeah.
Of many even rape cases that may even happen because you know how when you guys are going to party out here in December. What happens is this. If someone brings a false allegation to someone, and then that person is accused and they go through the whole process, the accuser never gets any repercussions for what they have done.
Yeah, oh, completely.
And do you know the issue that you're actually causing this individual? And it's not even located even in Kenya, even in the States, where you may hear even someone out of racism. The lady has accused the guy of even rape, and it just because he was black, he went to jail and everything. The lady goes scot-free. What has happened is you've taken 17 years
of someone.
Of this man's life. 17 years of someone being a father. 17 years of this person's livelihood and of this person's mental state. All because you wanted to sell a piece of land and you wanted to get yourself a transaction done. That uncle, I have no heart even towards even the daughter. Even the daughter should receive some repercussion, although not extremely, because she was a minor at that time. She was a kid, so she was easily coerced. But that uncle should be prosecuted and taken to jail, and should get a minimum of double the amount of time that person has actually been caught in. Because what I say is, if you dare make a false allegation and that falsehood actually now transact to a conviction to the individual, you should be prosecuted minimum double, be it even the financial, if it's a financial repercussion, or even the jail time. But that does not happen within law, and that needs to be something that happens. That's why even when we say that law is the utmost standard in which everybody should be prosecuted, that is not the truth, because people can use the law to make falsehoods and convict someone who's completely innocent. That's why even I say there needs to be an addition to that, because that is not something that's actually included within law, and that is so serious. And one thing, even I'll go even further and say this, it's usually a majority of the people who suffer in jail because of false allegation are men.
I knew you would say that. I knew you would say that. I knew you would say that.
Is that not the truth?
Because, well, men sometimes are wired to be very naughty. But I'll say this. I'm not saying that. Number one, you know, before we jump the gun, I want to say that one of the things that has really been established is that it's very difficult for children to be very consistent with a story, especially if they are lying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So therefore, because we don't have all the facts together, I'm thinking this lady has grown up and realized, anyway, it wasn't soap, it didn't get finished, I can acquit my father.
No, the truth, I'm telling you the truth. The uncle is the one who set up who told the...
That's what, that is allegedly. I don't know. I'm just saying that in defense of the child, and so many criminal courts all over the world always believe the word of the child. Secondly, this was 17 years ago. DNA was not in Kenya. This is why these days it's very strict that if you unfortunately are in a situation like that, do not shower. Make sure you go and have the scientific basis, the DNA taken, the one that will actually prove that it was this man. It is because of cases like this, that because of these wrong convictions and all that, because at the time, was there DNA? Why wasn't DNA taken? Why wasn't it? These days, it's so easy. If you don't take those steps, it's so easy for you, for this person who has committed this crime against you to go away scot-free. So there was some mistrial there that went on, because I don't know, before this guy was being put behind bars for forever, why wasn't the critical information actually collected to definitively, did they check, was the child even defiled? And if the child was defiled, who did it? If it wasn't the father, who was it? There's just something about that case that I feel we may not be qualified. We can give our views, yes, but I think you need to study that file in depth.
And that is true, because because there's no way you will tell me that he was arrested, judged, if they did not at least get the evidence. Because one thing I know for sure is, no, let me be honest. Continue. One thing I know for sure is there has to be some tests that need to be done to this child. This is a huge thing. Rape is not something you just mention and then let's go to court. No, it's something like, first of all, how have we protected the child, because this child went through this. If they did that, maybe they would have realized that there is no consistency in the occurrence of event, based even on the child's reaction. But that another thing is, the one who manipulated the child is the one at fault. Because let's be realistic, this child could have been threatened, not even told by the uncle saying, this child could have been threatened for the child to do that. Because understand, this is a minor. And basic simple things can make a child want to protect someone else, or at least obey someone else because of fear. So this child could have been scared. So right now, 17 years later, she has realized, oh, I'm old enough to fight my battles, so can I at least help my father?
What I would say is that these cases are very common.
Yeah.
And they're very common in this country.
Yeah.
And the most men who have been taken, and we followed these cases in media, and we found those men 100% innocent. The country's legal system
It's fucked up.
is totally crazy.
Yes.
If I come and I want that land, I will bribe my way. The first person who is being the police officer at the ground who is taking those notes will implicate that man. Maria, you're living in this country. Will implicate
Why
that
use a
man.
child if you know you can implicate a man on anything?
Listen, number two,
Plant
the
something.
police, listen, the police will come and write a report that we've gone, this guy is a rapist. These men have no money, they cannot sell land to do DNA. Most of these guys are from poor families, extremely poor families. That's why they are being denied. That's why that land issue is there. So that they take your land, they take you behind bars. It is not only this case only. There's another one who was acquitted in Kericho after 10 years for wrongful, the same thing. There's one we interviewed in Ukambani, same thing. So what we are saying is that our courts do not go beyond, and these guys don't have lawyers. You are being taken in, you are being told you've raped this girl, is your daughter, everyone is against you, the public opinion has been shaped, the police has taken a stand, he's been bribed on the side, he's a prosecution, you're in. In a blink of an eye, you can be jailed, and 50 or 30% of Kenyans behind jail are innocent.
Are innocent.
That is, and
that's why they say money buys freedom.
Yes, exactly. Even I'll go further. Even I say this, when it comes to is situations in which the man is the victim, the man is always presumed guilty before anything. In a presumption, there's a presumption of guilty before even any innocence. And what happens is anybody who has an issue against you will use that to their benefit to make sure that not only are you convicted, but there's a prejudice of guilt. You notice how in every single one of your languages, you are always presuming to protect the quote-unquote victim, the assumed victim being who? The daughter, the assumed victim. You did not actually choose to actually find out who is the actual victim. This guy has been in jail for 17 years. Like, honestly, this is why this hits me very, very hard. You know why? 17 years behind bars. Do you know what that means? Like, I'm serious, but hey, let's be serious, by the way. On a serious note, 17 years, by the way. Like, what in the world?
Simon, you know there's a song, 17 years, living next door to Alice.
I'm pissed off. Like,
You have
no. Forget them. I'm talking about the guy right now. I'm saying, no, do you know how it pisses me off? Because you have literally just even negating even his story. I need you guys to make sure that you add some validity. No, I need you to make sure. I'm very serious. No, I'm serious. You need to make sure that you add some validity to his story. Because this man was not only framed up, because he's used societal prejudice against men to view them as a villain on almost situations. When it just say rape. Just say rape in any man, you're immediately viewed as villain. And that's why even I say, the prejudice the society has against men when it comes to situations, when it comes to even sexual violence and sexual allegations, that has often been used against men right now to put innocent men in jail, and that happens in today's society. as society, you say when you're saying but,
You know what?
that but should not be there.
Let me tell you
That but should not be
But
there.
they are also
No.
molest them.
Wait, stop saying but. You took 17 years of this man's life. Are you serious?
And that's what I'm saying.
What are you trying to say?
Men sometimes.
Are you serious what you're saying?
Okay, Simon. Simon,
you don't understand how you've not been in jail. You've not been in jail.
No, let me tell you.
There is no but here. There is no but. Even that but, even with one T, I don't want to hear it.
What is that song of 24 years living next door to Alice? 24 years.
Men actually molest women, and that's why when women take these cases in court, they are not. Men are usually.
Stop deflecting. We're talking about. Just stop deflecting. Yes. You're deflecting to another woman's issue.
I am
stop it.
No. Stop it right now.
Stop it
I've already said sorry.
Stop deflecting. Guys. We're talking about this guy right here.
We need to move on. Producer is saying we need to move on.
We're not deflecting. Hey, we cannot deflect. Go ahead, see you.
Let's move on to the next topic.
So the next topic is about for 24 years living next door to Alice. Alice, you know the song?
Who's Alice?
I'm just cooling down the situation. Is this guy who was living next door to this girl and he couldn't gather enough courage to ask her out. So one day he wakes up and he finds Alice is gone. She's not here anymore. Her Mercedes was parked over there. She's no longer here. It's a song, actually.
Oh.
Who the hell is Alice?
Who the hell is Alice?
I removed the one. The one.
You know the song?
Yes, I removed the one word out there.
Yeah. Now, we are talking about bad luck. That was bad luck for him. Because all these years he couldn't.
Bad luck. It's lack of courage.
Courage, whichever way you put it.
Go and say
But, is it contagious? Yeah, so there's a story of this should I say the name?
No.
A social media influencer who recently her daughter took away her life. And then apparently she was in a committed relationship and apparently these ladies, so many people around her have been dying. So having been in a committed relationship, her boyfriend has decided, she announced on social media that her boyfriend has decided, there's too many people dying around you, I'm leaving you. So she's been left. So
there's something in Kikuyu culture they call the red thigh.
The red thigh?
They call the red thigh.
There's such a thing. What is that?
It's called in Kikuyu they call it kieroge tune. The woman with the red thigh is the fact that the woman whose husband dies or something like that, and people are warned, is only married by an older person or something like that. But traditionally, I'm just saying traditional, culturally, people have beliefs, and those beliefs, people get concerned if people die around you, then because it is also there in the long run that it has been there culturally. People fear individuals if many close relatives die in succession, dying is not bad, but in succession, in a very short span of time. There are people whose husbands, you get married to this one dies, another one dies, another one dies. There's no other man who would come and marry you. So that's why they call kieroge tune or a red thigh.
Kieroge tune.
Yes, it's a red thigh. People fear, and they are there. And traditionally, men knew such women, and they were really, really avoided them. So now in this setup, in the modern setup, people still also fear people when you do not know what actually ails that family, because you don't know what diseases are probably there. You don't know what kind of ailments the family has in the family tree, and you don't want to be part of it so that it goes into your family tree. So many people sit back and say, no, if this is the case, and that's why people, when they're getting married, you do a lot of search and you check the background completely to know what kind of a family you're getting married into.
But isn't that, I'm always the custodian of culture on this show,
Yes.
Isn't that what we used to do? And that's what we've lost. You know, people would go ahead of you, check.
Yes, check.
Do they have these things? But you know what I would like to suggest for people and for families to start doing is to do postmortems. Postmortems in the event of a death. it's always very important in terms of public health, so that you know what is causing what is causing this thing within a family or within an area. Sometimes you may find actually it could be the water, or it could be the diet these people are eating. It could be something hereditary. It could be something that, because now the world is such that it's very difficult to go far and beyond. But in terms of public health, that's how we can help one another. Because traditionally it was enforced. If people hear, oh, you commit suicide, or people, they have this thing, then people tend to avoid you. In South Africa, the Zulu men had told, you line up, all of you, naked. You are physically inspected. The day you come to bring lobola, you come with 100 men, blood relatives. All of you are inspected. Physical. It was very serious. And that's why in Africa we were very resilient. Our gene pool is very diverse and we were very resilient.
I think also I would call it coincidence. Sometimes things happen out of coincidence. Yes, I know you're supposed to do the research and all that, but in this situation, I feel like it was all a coincidence. And I know most of the people believe in coincidence and luck when you're making good money and not missing an opportunity. But also there's the negative side to it. Things like that can happen. I don't think she's qualified because it's not the same relation, like husband, or child. It is different. I don't think she's qualified to be either unlucky or a gene problem. I don't think so. But I feel, in this case, I would say coincidence, or just like we rejoice in people having opportunities, you're not missing a deal and, oh, you have good luck. Let's just say she had bad luck. It's not something that was, like, it's not on her. It's more like it just fell on her, but it's not on her.
I have something else to say on luck, and say first, and then I will go. I'll go last on the issue of luck.
Mine is a different twist altogether. When it comes to intimacy and sex, you have to also remember there's a spiritual component in it.
Yes.
And what happens is usually when it happens to even intercourse, you can have intercourse with someone, and then you can literally now, because you're exchanging more than just bodily fluids. You're engaging in a very intimate encounter with one another. Even as you mentioned, even about the red dye, that's basically a traditional way of interpreting an intimate spiritual connection that people have when they have intercourse with one another. So now, with the spiritual component added to it, now the man fleeing, in a way, he could now be, quote unquote, now fleeing any intimacy, which now may lead to now him getting whatever it is that the lady, whatever spiritual, whatever that lady may be having, whatever spiritual component that the lady may be going through, he may not want to integrate that within his life, and hence he detached himself and ran away. Now the issue I have with this story is this. The man fled after hearing stories and listening to his friends' narratives. One thing I would want to say is this. As a man and you're in a relationship, you are busy listening to your friends' stories about you, your friends' stories about your woman. And you're not even busy actually engaging with your woman in a conversation to even understand and actually even know what is going on, to get a clear understanding, to know the steps that you can actually even take. A man should not flee. You should walk out. A woman should never say that you ran away. You never ran away. You walked out because you knew exactly why you walked out, and she knew exactly. The moment a man runs away, I think of you as a coward, a weakling, in a sense that you're not able to even now have a conversation with someone you were with. You know what I mean? This is someone you are with. You are even engaging verbally, and you are even actually even now even thinking maybe in the future. Until what happened? Friends started implanting things in your heads and so on and so forth. If that man fled without actually getting a conversation with that woman because the lady now said that he fled and he just ran away, even quote unquote maybe ghosted, so on and so forth, that is literally a man acting, rolling, even moving with a sense of fear. And that's not necessarily a man that lady even should even be with. Because a man should actually be more stoic in his relationship, in a sense knowing that this is the direction I'm taking my relationship. You can have your input, but your input is coming from a place of ignorance in which you do not know what's really going on in our relationship.
But I want to say something. So one of the things I liked about Donald Trump, the one thing I learned about him, he said, be careful. Bad luck is contagious, yeah? And there's such a thing as good luck. And he goes on to give a story of how he actually, in his book, he wrote a book on kick ass and succeed, something like that. He talks about how, just by coincidence, he didn't want to go to this dinner, and he decided, let me just go. And by coincidence, he met the lawyer who was handling, it was a banker's dinner, who was handling his case. It was, I think, in 95, when there was a big recession? And that is what actually really saved him. And he was going to sit in his Trump Towers and just eat burgers. But let me just go. Even though he was scared, when I enter there, everybody will know, he owes you money, because he ordered, personally, he was almost in minus $900 million. Personally, not even his company. And he said it's just that one single thing, going to that dinner, accidentally met this lawyer who was the next day dealing with his issue, that he survived that big recession, because most people in real estate industry at that time actually went out of business. People who are even much better, even doing better than him. And he goes ahead to actually give many other examples of people who just have bad luck. And if you mentioned a spiritual aspect of it, I'm also very spiritual, and I believe God is an energy. He's the force, the big force. And we have to agree that there is a negative force, which some people refer to that as the devil. And there are some people who are actually obsessed, possessed with that bad energy around them. And that energy, if you are hanging around these people, it rubs off you.
Of course.
It rubs off you. So be very careful. Who are you hanging around with? Because if this energy rubs off you, then you start experiencing all these bad luck things. That God's energy now is, so be very careful about people energy.
That's true. Because even people are very interesting out here. They can even suck the energy out of you.
Yes.
Especially if you're very energetic like me. That happens a lot of times. You want to suck the energy out of me. But on that note, what we'll do is we'll take a quick break right now, and then we'll come right back. We're going to keep it real with you guys, okay? Don't you go anywhere. Just drink this Samantha's wine.
Yes. And actually, everybody should be sending us a photo of Samantha wines, how they're drinking it during this show, and you get another.
Simon,
Welcome back to the show, guys. I hope you're having a good time, and I hope you're sipping some Samantha wine. Also, I hope you're enjoying every topic, because today it's a bit heavy, right, CEO?
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
And remember, man, we are at
It's
Orchid
a scam.
Lounge.
Yes. Still a scam.
Still a scam.
Where are we at, Maria? Where are we?
The Orchid.
Orchid launch? Yes.
Not Orchid?
It's Orchid.
Okay.
It depends on the school you went to. Did you go to group of schools or school of groups?
And you know me, I went to a very...
School of groups.
So Simon, this story...
Yes. So talk to me, CEO. What's this interesting story that you have for us?
This story I was reading, and there's a host of some radio show in one of our media stations who interviewed a Benga artist from Central Region. And the Benga artist came and revealed more than we could handle. But
it's too much.
Yeah, too much. That the man of her dreams, the man is known for many years, has gone out and is dating the daughter and now dating the granddaughter. A taboo in African culture and setting.
Pause. Who listen to what you just said? Who said that again? He did what?
Dated the mother, the daughter, and now he's in the granddaughter.
Hey!
Love is a beautiful thing.
Cheers to you, man. Continue.
So now the saddest thing.
Did you call it? That's incest.
This man does not know boundaries of sexual relationships whatsoever. And secondly, after the woman had sung a very beautiful song to him, my love, Shege.
Shege.
Okay, I have a different twist on this.
Dr. C, what are you saying?
No, I have a different twist on this. Actually, we discussed this story earlier. Yeah. Number one, I know a lot of people will look at it and just say, "Ooh." Actually, I come from Western Kenya. And there is a way grandfathers actually refer to their great-grandchildren. And they are always like, especially within the Wanga, there is a way the grandmother always calls the other one as the co-wife, the younger child as the co-wife. There is a name to that. Now, Luos, and some part of Luyas, the Wangas and the Banyalas, do you know you could marry sisters?
You can marry sisters?
Yes, one husband. You're not genetically related. So you can go to a whole homestead and marry the 10 daughters if you want, if you have the means and they agree. Yes.
But now you're genetically combining.
You're not combining. If this man is having children with that one, me and the husband and that woman, they are not related. They are not related. So you could marry from the same family.
But this kid...
No, they are not genetically related. The man is not genetically related to the 10. The only difference with this man is that he's gone across generations. He's gone across generations. So this grandchild of this woman, because they are not related genetically, I'm just saying, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that, I'm saying that, see where you come from. I don't know why this is so funny. And your men marry sisters.
Yeah, we marry sisters.
This man has gone cross generations. Okay, there's betrayal.
Let me correct it, that it is allowed in culture to marry sisters. It is not allowed for you to marry, to go and have sex with the mother and the daughter and the granddaughter.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Culture.
Yeah,
it is not allowed. It is a taboo. It shall not be condoned. And I think this man...
It's so out of order.
Something which is terribly wrong. It is not allowed. Yes.
Why are we skipping the obvious part here?
What is the obvious one?
These ladies right here are consenting adults and human beings.
And the grandchild...
No, why are we skipping the obvious? The obvious is right here. The ladies are consenting adult human beings.
So who was the victim? Who was the victim here?
Something I want to take note. In this story, even I mentioned you, he never married. He was dating. All of the daughters, they were coming back, they saying they were dumped. Not divorced. They were dumped. So now what happens is this. All of these scenarios, what you're hearing is indeed that the ladies are the ones who are coming back, even telling even their mom, they're pouring out their hearts, that indeed such and such situation has happened. Correct?
Yes.
Now, when the mother even broke up the first time.
My love, Shaggy.
Yes. I'm sure she had even told her daughters about a certain man. I'm sure the daughters were not even aware. I'm sure they were aware that this man, in one way, is actually engaging with my mother. These ladies are consenting adults who made a cognitive decision to date this man.
This man is romantic.
Say that again. And not only that, this man found a gene pool that he wanted to invest in. And he said, I like this one.
And this one is
and I see this other one. No, and I see this other one coming. Why not?
No, wrong.
And then now, this other one, you have to also even take note of this. Ladies are the ones who give access to intercourse. They're the ones who give.
Did anyone say they were raped?
None of them will say
No,
exactly.
but okay,
None of them. They all consented.
They all consented. This man must be the victim. He must be weak. For all these charming women in this family, he's a victim here.
Go outside the house. Get out.
He's a victim. He's a
Millions
victim.
of women in the world. Get out of the around, like even move central, go to Luo and get sisters. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is yes, they are consenting, but why are you going for consent in the wrong place?
No. Who said he seduced them? Maybe
He did not seduce
they
them.
seduced him.
And that's the point.
And
What
then
you
he
say,
dumped
no.
them.
I have tested this githeri with Nyanya. I've tested it with.
He's too weak. He's too weak.
I don't want githeri. I want cabbage.
Listen. If you go to a mapera tree, guava a tree. Oh, by the way, it's a season for it in my village.
Yeah.
So you go and pick this one. You eat, you like it. You'll go on the same one, pick again and like it.
Now,
The
go
same.
try mango.
So,
Go try mango.
Maria, even I'll go further with facts. I'll go further with facts. The mother is Madam Romantic. She wrote a song, right?
Yes.
And the daughter is also a musician. So these girls, they have it. And then that's why, what is...
he's a victim. He's a victim here.
Interested in the dish that tastes like this.
Yes.
Change the menu.
No.
Who said why? He's lazy. He's lazy.
Let me tell
And
you.
why are we letting this man
Yes.
why are we letting this will, even if they consented, why are they not angry at this man for?
I don't think they are.
But
They're
these people are relatives. Like the mother, the daughter, the granddaughter, surely. Mannerless.
But one thing I have to give credit to the man is this. The man
There's
never...
no credit.
No, here's the thing. No, here's the credit. The man never married any one of them because he saw indeed there's a commonality of behavior between all three.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his commonality of behavior was indeed the
He
fact
was
that-
waiting for the grandchild to be
all of them, even from the mother to the daughter, even the granddaughter, all of them you notice that they have a musical background, except for the granddaughter, we don't know about that. But even the daughter was still even a one-man guitar kind of thing. So what you have to take note is that the mother has also spread the same message beyond generations. And what has happened is that the daughters have fallen prey towards the same traps that the mother has even fallen for. So what's going on is this. The daughters are repeating the same mistakes of the mother. And that is what's happening in this scenario. The mother is not training the daughters to actually even do better than her. They're doing the same mistakes.
So the mother, what the mother should have done is to tell the daughter that this one, in African culture, there's a way where you tell your daughters, okay, that man,
Yeah.
we've gone beyond just talking. So please avoid, so that you do not just assume that they will know, because sometimes people live far and wide. And the age of internet and connectivity, probably these guys might meet, you don't know. There are people who have gone to weddings and realized that they are marrying someone the daughter of someone who you're dating before.
Yeah, but I want to say something here. CEO, you've introduced something so important.
Yeah.
I think so that going back
Yeah.
to the family unity and defining what is family. Actually, this particular incident speaks of how individualistic we've become as family, such that your granddaughter is no longer seeing you as family.
Yeah.
We need to rethink. We need to do those things, start doing those things that make us as family, live together, spend time together, know what are our dreams, what are our aspirations. The point is, we are not spending time together as family. And therefore, we are growing further and becoming individualistic. And I think it's the season to say, can we come together this Christmas time? It's time to come together. Let's know each other as relatives. Let's partake together. Define what are the values of the family. What brings us together. And once we do that, these kind of things will not be there.
Yeah, exactly. Know who your mother is kissing. Know who your father is
Yes.
kissing.
Yeah.
Because you could meet your father in the same club that you're in.
Yeah.
Hey.
And you end up with the same girlfriend.
Where? Maria.
Start a social media page every time you're dating someone so that you can know who they are.
Hey, but wait,
yeah.
okay, go ahead.
I don't want Simon to argue about that.
But-
Let's talk about something else.
What is
Because
it?
Simon was about to dramatize here. Anyway, we are in December, and I know very well that this is just, let me emphasize, 31 days month. Yes. And most of the time you find that when it comes to January, there's this common pictures, memes, and videos that go around that you're eating cabbage in January and you're eating meat in December. We understand, continue slaughtering goat every week. That's not the problem. My problem is you have kids to take to school. If you don't start investing in buying the bags, the shoes, the clothes right now, in January you will be complaining of, okay, like we said, in December is when you want to tumia pesa ili kuzoea, and in January is when the economy is bad. So, what are you going to urge people to take note of and to be keen about when it comes to this month?
Any tips, really?
Me, I can start
Go
there.
ahead.
I want to say, if you're paying school fees, pay school fees first. Get it out of the way. It's usually the main thing. And then also, I hope you have been saving for this month. My tip always is that this is the worst time to actually, like, I have nothing against the coast hotels, and I'm just like, those rates are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Who pays for that? Me, I've already done my beach, whatever. I'm not. But if you have been saving, that's okay. If you haven't, please don't get caught up in the times. But it's time for family. And I think so that family is just about partaking together, however small, being together, celebrating, and just, if you see the demons people are fighting, by demons I mean the problems people have, just celebrate whatever small you have, however blessed you are, celebrate in moderation. That's what I say, moderation. Everything in moderation. Pay more attention on being together as a family.
Simon.
Fellow Kenyans,
Yes.
December's here. And you know, this month was coming 11 months ago. And yet you have found yourself here. You know you've not seen all of those relatives that you've been ignoring for the longest time. You're going to see them now. And you know the fact that you want to engage in extracurricular activities, and yet you want to see that girl that you've not seen in a while. Some of you are going to see your second wives in rural areas. We know you, and it's okay. Listen, be honest about the issues that you are undergoing. Be honest about the sins that you're going to do. Be honest and accept them. We already know. We don't need to tell you about planning for January. You're not planned, and you're not going to. We know, okay? So we're not going to tell you to plan. Do your sins, because you know what? God will provide. Isn't that right? Amen.
Okay.
So what you're going to do? No, relax.
What?
My message is not done.
Oh, okay.
Relax. The sins that you're going to make, extracurricular activities, you know you're going to do them. Do them better than you did last year. Last year you fell short. You were almost caught. Yes, ladies, you know. You know how you're almost caught because of that end of year party that you were almost caught? It's okay this time. Do better to make sure that Charles does not know that your husband exists. Or even that your husband does not know that Charles exists. So this year, let's do our sins better so that we can actually become a better person in 2025. Let's do this. I believe in you. Let's sin better and flourish in
Did you just say that?
Yes.
Let's sin
I'm
better.
not going to give them advice that they're not going to take. We know. I see you.
No, but this is what I say. Okay, let me first be selfish and say this. Okay, I think I should first be selfish and pass the first message to my husband. Don't spend all the money in December for your kids. Valentine is coming, yes. But if you're a parent and you know that you have children, I know most of the time you see you want to catch up with the relatives. My kids should go dressed like this, I should go driving this car so that people can understand that I'm the rich of the family. No, actually, nobody cares about, okay, people will see and they will, watakutambua, like they always say, but in a real sense, remember you worked hard from January to December only to eat up all your savings in 1 month. No. If you, I'm not even going to say about this December. The next December, please ensure that you have a budget for that if you know you are a heavy spender in December. And if you've not booked flights or planned the vacations by now, we need to give you this tip. Sometimes doing that earlier helps you a lot in saving up a little bit. So if you're planning to do that right now, that's quite a lot of money. You can wait till January. There's nothing big happens. If it's fireworks, and you just go in January there. But please drink responsibly kwa barabara. I don't want to see you getting
Samantha
accidents.
Wines.
Please don't drink and drive. Drive safely. Don't rush. Nobody's in a rush. Just be safe this December because we need you in January to make those New Year's resolutions that most of the time we don't achieve.
See you?
Very easy.
You have any bad advice?
I wouldn't advise anyone. I will tell you that every money you make is not for buying cement. Men,
Yes.
enjoy your money this Christmas.
And use them on your wives.
No,
Or use
enjoy
them-
your
use
money.
them on your
Yes.
wives.
There's
Men,
nothing
toil
as bad
me.
as toiling the whole year, and then you cannot even spend that money my friend, you know school fees will be there. If you don't, you must rudishia mwili shukrani.
God will
You
provide.
cannot be working the whole 1 year,
Yes.
and then you are not sitting down to enjoy your money.
What are we?
You know, the problem with men, and I tell men all the time,
Tell us.
90% of their money, they use their money for the family, and they never use money on themselves. This Christmas, as a man, if you provide, use some of the money on yourself.
And yes.
But
Self-love is key.
but
Yeah.
Especially for men.
men need to know one thing.
Use your money on yourself.
No. There is one thing men need to know that is biblical. Maria,
Don't just provide and you're not providing for yourself.
but there is
Crazy.
Yes, God says
biblically, every time you spend on a woman, biblically, every time you spend on a woman, there is a special blessing that God always bestows on them. And the men who know this secret, they know it, okay?
Dr. C, please emphasize on your wife.
On-
These men are going to spend on every woman.
The Bible just says a woman. Usually, I'm sure that it means the man, but I want to say something. And I want to say something. This is the time for creating memories for your family.
Yeah.
Creating memories, teaching your children, especially, I'm just talking about parents. I know that when it's December, Christmas, for me, it's not about going, it's about going and meeting. That's what Christmas for me is about. It's about family. And if we are to keep this country as a nation, we must cultivate the family getting together thing.
Yeah, is it the right time to say that marriage is a scam?
Yes.
You must read for us a verse.
That's the perfect time.
Yeah,
And as
but-
men, you should know this is the worst time to propose.
Yes.
Don't you do it.
And spend
Oh,
your
it's a
money.
tip.
She do it.
This is
She
the
said, don't do
perfect
it.
time to do
Eat
a
your money,
wedding.
Simon.
No,
Yes.
let me finish
I
by
will.
saying this. No, let me finish by saying this, by the way. I did my wedding in December 23rd. Let me tell you.
It's the worst.
Budget wedding. You see, almost Christmas, people are going home. They are traveling to go show off with their families. We just have a small wedding because most of the
People are busy.
apologies and just send you
Oh,
a pesa.
really?
They'll be giving apologies and sending you. That's a tip, Simon. Where are you?
Oh, so that's how you marry a side chick.
You marry a side chick in December.
At that time, yeah?
That's
But-
how you do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for that tip.
Is that by the way, it's the Valentine's and Christmas is the top proposal season.
Really?
So maybe next time we should talk about if you're a girl and you're being taken to visit for the first time. Maybe it's your first Christmas as a married couple. It can be very daunting. Where do you go? Do you go to the man's place? Do you go to the woman's place? What do you
You
do?
go and wash. If you are so beautiful,
Yeah.
you cut
You cut watermelon.
watermelon.
But if you're not, you cut matumbo.
Yes.
Wow, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
And then you're going for the first time to your in-laws. How should you? Maybe you should talk about that. For the first time you're going to the in-laws. How
We'll
do
do it
you?
next
And
week.
next time.
Next week, yes.
Next week we have to do that.
Hey, that's
All right.
Is that when we are setting a table at Dr. C's house?
Yes.
Yeah, imagine.
It's been real, guys.
Being hot.
Guys, I hope you
It's
enjoyed the
December.
show.
It's December. You
Yes.
enjoy.
Remember December.
There's a song for
Na,
December.
na, 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 na. Yes, it's a song like that.
But
All
let's
right.
do something that-
Remember in December. It's a song my daughter sings at
So
there.
if you will keep watching, it's Let's Be Real.
Yes.
Samantha Wines, now available in all the leading wine stores.